everybody. I'm Eric Mitchell. This is To The Point with Eric Mitchell. Figured that one out. That goes pretty good. Today is Tuesday, not Monday. Tuesday, May 26th. Hopefully you enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend. It was good to relax. I don't know about you guys, but where I happen to live in the Pacific Northwest, some of our counties are open, and we ate in a restaurant. We ate in 2 restaurants this weekend. It was awesome to go visit 2 amazing restaurants, sit down and remember what it was like to be served. I kind of missed it. Like, my wife's a good chef, and my 15-year-old is an amazing chef, but good food is hard to come by. So it was great to go sit down in a restaurant, enjoy some cooking, and hear all the sights and sounds that go on with being in a restaurant. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was a different Memorial Day. Not all the shebang that we get, especially with all the sports that we can have out there. We didn't have a chance to do that. But you got to throw the ball around. We ended up having a barbecue, and it was kind of fun. I mean, barbecue meaning like every other barbecue we have, which means it's just us. It's not like we had a block party or anything fun like that. So that's what we have for what I did this weekend. Hopefully your weekend was good. So let's get into the news that we have. A lot of news going on. The stock market opened today strongly as the economy starts to recover. That is a positive. And also out of New Jersey, I read this right before we went onto the show, that the New Jersey governor, he's a mayor. Governor Murphy has said that he plans in July, he plans to allow high school, or not high school, hasn't said, but graduations to take place. So hopefully that includes our seniors. I know they have really felt it, even here in our hometown, our local high school, which is, I could probably on a good day throw a rock and hit it from my window. They had their first ever inaugural graduating class, their first seniors, and they aren't able to walk across the stage, which is just, horrific, to add to the fact that it's your senior year. You don't get to do fun stuff. So, and that leads me to, as we talk about schools and opening, Wall Street Journal put an article out 2 days ago describing what schools will look like in the fall. I know the President of the United States said Sunday that he wants to see schools open immediately. I don't know who's going to open. The schools have been closed until fall. When they do open, they made some ridiculous ideas of keeping 6 feet distance, masks, no school lunches, no recesses. It's going to be a whole new world. And we already have classroom overcrowding as it is, because we love to make sure our public schools are chocked to the gills with about 8 million people. I mean, we complain about overcrowding in prison, but we don't seem to worry about it when it comes to our schools. So we should be taking care of our schools and making sure that we are actually following the guidelines. But like we always talk about in the news here, the guidelines and the data that we're supposed to go off, I don't really think anybody knows. What I've decided is I'm just happy to wake up every day and enjoy another 24 hours on this beautiful planet with my wonderful family. That's what I get to look forward to every day. So that's the best way we can look forward to it and not worry about what's to come. We honestly don't know. I guess the best news we all got was, hey, the NFL said we're going to have fans in the stands this year. So if we're all going to get corona, we're all going to get it watching football. Rock on. I know you shouldn't kid about the coronavirus, but come on, either everybody has it or everybody doesn't. We don't have all the right data. It's a little hard to do anything around here. On a positive note, the NBA did leak. They did it on Friday. They leaked out that they are in finalization talks with Walt Disney World to resume their season. Now, controversy exists further from this, that yes, we want an NBA season, and Adam Silver has probably been the only commissioner who stepped up the game. We should actually give Adam Silver, the commissioner, a position within the country, because he could actually do something amazing. He's been able to take all the safety guidelines, work out a deal, and get things to come across that we actually need. So what we're hearing is the NBA is going to start up in late July. Their training camps will open in late June, and they will go to Orlando and play. Now, there is a playoff. The GMs are all surveyed. They want to do a playoff. And now we're hearing players who are on the outside looking in are saying, look, if you're not going to include us in the playoffs, I'm not going to show up and play a couple games just to show up. I mean, it's kind of a waste of time. Everybody's saying they should just jump into the playoffs where the standings are now and just go. Yeah, it sucks, but we've got to figure this out. These guys need to get paid. And yes, it's not fair to some of these players who will be on the outside looking in that count on the chance that they could make the playoffs. These guys that are 2 or 3 games out with 20 to go, I get their argument. So it leads you to do that. Now, before we get into our show, I posted a survey online today, and I'm curious for the feedback from the folks that are tuning in. I posed this question. What would you rather have, $1 million or 1 million followers? In an age where social media reigns supreme and everybody's on it, every brand that you know is moving to it. And in fact, HBO and Cinemax released tomorrow their new HBO Max, which is everything HBO, everything Cinemax. And yes, Cinemax actually plays movies. Those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s know what I'm meaning. It's not just for softcore porn. So you can actually tune in to Cinemax and watch TV. They actually have movies on there, but they're releasing it. So as more and more things go to streaming, I'm curious on what is more important, followers or money? Because with the right amount of followers, with 1 million followers, the endorsements and everything keep coming in. Think about the folks that make millions just making content on YouTube. So I pose that question, and I'll pose it to you while you're tuning in and listening. Which would you rather have, $1 million or 1 million followers? Good food for thought as we move into this day. And I just want to tell everybody, keep your head up out there. I know that there's a lot of people who are out there, and our social media is full of folks out there who are telling you right, wrong, and indifferent over who to vote for, what to think, wear a mask, not wear a mask, wear gloves, not wear a mask, what shows to watch, what shows to watch, not to watch. You just need to keep your head up and stick to your game. We're all shooting on the same hoop. We all need to get along. Find things, if you don't like what you're watching, you don't like what you're listening to, you don't like what you're reading, turn the page, shut it off, turn it off, walk away. It's very simple. Just be blessed that you woke up today and have another 24 hours on this planet to make a difference. So that's what I have for you in the news today. We have a hell of a show for you before we jump to the point, but we have a hell of a show for you today. I'm excited. I haven't slept all, actually I slept all weekend. I slept really good all weekend. But I'm excited. We have, of course, to lead off the show, we have Stephanie McPherson out of the Carolinas. We're going to interview her first. And then at the end of the show, as we go to the last segment of the show, we have the first round of the Triple Deuce Chef Challenge, which was thrown down last Tuesday by Chef Clemenza. So we're going to interview the first round contestant. Now, they've battled each other before and have various hashtags on their throwdowns, but we're going to have them throw down here. And then I understand it that producer Chris, he's going to be in round 2 showing down next week. And that reminds me, for next week and moving forward, so you finish out this week with the show. Moving forward, next Monday, June 1st. Yeah, we're already to June. We're moving to a new slot and time. We'll be on at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. So you can actually catch us as most of us start going back to work. We'll catch you during your lunch or right as you start the day. Mind you, if you're watching and you catch us at 9 and you can't catch us at noon, tune into our YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button that you'll see in the corner. That way you never miss a show. We don't care if you watch us live or watch us recorded. Just watch us. Subscribe and tell a friend. Second on the show today, I'm excited, as you all know, when it comes to Sopranos. I love watching that show. We actually started it up again, doing the circle. So it's now The Office and the Sopranos going. I don't know how those two intermingle at all. One's Scranton, Pennsylvania, and the other's Jersey and New York. But hey, we are excited to have Vincent Pastore on the show today. I am excited just because I'm a diehard Soprano fan, and watching season 1 and seeing people that you're going to interview is pretty cool. So we were in season 1. Funny story, as you guys know, a few Fridays ago, we actually interviewed Joe Ganiscali, who he had 2 characters in The Sopranos. In season 1, he was just a dude picking up pastries before Christopher went nuts and decided to shoot people in the foot. And then he came back as Vito, as we all know, and stayed in for like 30 some odd episodes. So it's pretty cool to see people when they show up. I forgot what episode it was, but we spotted him last night. So that's what we have for this show today. So hopefully you tune in. Remember, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified when we go live. And make sure you do that. We really want to hit 100 subscribers before we close out the week. And that depends on you guys, the folks that tune in and watch. So make sure you do that so you don't miss when we have amazing guests or you don't miss these chef challenges. Now, I think it's time for us to get to the point. Our first guest is Stephanie McPherson, and she is a chef and she has, I wish I just had a complete brain fart, so remembering her social media call sign, I will not remember. But she's going to tell us. Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here.
Oh, I'm happy to have you on, and I'm excited for this first round of this challenge.
Yeah.
So it's always good, anything going on with Clemenza is always going to be fun and entertaining, and we're just hoping that he keeps the F-bombs to a minimum.
Yeah. We've had a few conversations about that. So you were saying that you didn't know how to pronounce my tagline. Mm-hmm. It's de-fa-rickin-licious. And de-fa-rickin-licious. So it's not de-frickin-licious, and it's not de-freaking-licious. It's de-fa-rickin-licious.
Okay.
And it's all about healthy cooking with a big splash of humor. And I came up with the name of the show. One day I was driving to the gym, and I have a weird, unique way in which I speak. I add extra syllables to my names, or I call people weird off the cuff names. And I was just like driving, and I was like thinking about, having my own restaurant and cooking show. And I was like, and just de-fa-rickin-licious just hit me. And I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. So that's how that came about.
Outstanding. That's great. So tell us about how you got into cooking. Obviously, you're going to go through for this throwdown challenge. I do want to tell you, by the way, having the word frickin' in there is really confusing to a Marine. We love the F word. Like,
I know, I do too.
So yeah. I am proud of myself that yet on this show we haven't dropped one of those. We save those for other people. I mean, right. I thought for sure because we interview veterans all the time on our show, and we have our Thursday shows are always our veteran shows, and I'm proud of us so far. We have yet to have anyone drop an F-bomb, which is shocking. We've got some good combat vets we've had on. Nobody dropped an F-bomb yet. So
yeah, it's amazing how that doesn't happen for some reason. So
amazing. You don't even have to tell people hey, don't drop F-bombs.
Right.
Ever.
Well, I mean, because I actually am a big F-drum bomber. And it's funny because one of my girlfriends and I say that it's a sentence enhancer. It adds such a powerful punch and meaning.
It tells you everything. You can do anything with that word. So let's get back. Let's interview. We can talk about the F word. And right now, people are like, all they're talking about is the F. It's a beautiful word. You should use it. Just don't use it on my show right now, and I won't be mad. It's not that I'm a prude. Trust me. It's just I want everybody to enjoy it, and some people are offended by it. So it's the same thing when we talk about cannabis on our show. People get offended by that too. So.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell them there. They're on their own. But anyway, so how did you get into cooking? Tell us your backstory. I read your bio. I know it, but share with the folks that are out there listening. What got you inspired into cooking?
So I used to help my grandmother as a little girl. I used to help my grandmother make breakfast, and my favorite thing to prepare was her homemade biscuits. And I always would make little baby-sized biscuits. And so that just really inspired me. I loved being in the kitchen with my grandmother, and she made everything from scratch. And I learned, over the years how to prepare, from her potato salad to her strawberry, to her homemade strawberry cake, upside down pineapple cake. And that just inspired me. I've always loved to cook. So my mama and daddy, when my little brothers and I, they would allow us one night a week to stay up past when the others went to bed. The other two went to bed for 30 more minutes. And I always wanted to cook something. Or not necessarily cook, but just prepare some food, delicious food. And then that just carried over just all of my life, just loving to be in the kitchen, loving to be creative. And then in my early 20s, I started to realize that I was not able just to eat anything that I wanted and keep the physicality that I was used to. So that's when I started the journey to health and wellness. And within that journey, it was it's grilled chicken and vegetables. No, nobody wants to eat that, and nobody wants to eat that consistently. So I bought Cooking Light magazine, and I had years of subscriptions, and just through that, I learned and taught myself how to make healthy food incredibly delicious. And that is what's so important. So, and that's the concept of my show is, again, it's about showing people that healthy food doesn't have to be Pizza Hut and McDonald's. It can be something that's super nutritious and super healthy, but also equally as mouth-wateringly, just achingly delicious. And so, I went to college. I got a bachelor's in biology, and I've been in the medical device sales for several years. And then a few years ago, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition rotated on my news feed. And from there, I became a certified health coach. And as well, going back in my mid-20s, I also was, on this journey of trying to figure out what my purpose was. And I learned through this book called The Empowered Mind that I had a real desire to also want to empower and inspire others, because I was empowering and inspiring myself to live life with intention and on purpose. So you take that. So I became a certified life coach as well. And so conglomerate that with health and wellness, as well as, self-awareness and personal growth. And that's me in a nutshell. And so it's all about living life with intention and on purpose, and being in a state of joy, because it's not about existing. We're not here to exist. We're literally here to thrive and live, and every day be in a state of perpetual joy. And I just live making that happen.
I love that. I mean, I always tell people that long as I wake up every morning breathing it out, in and out for the next 24 hours, and I'm alive, I'm a happy boy, and we get to rinse and repeat that every day.
I mean, it doesn't mean that obstacles, don't happen and life is always perfect, because it sure as hell ain't. But it's about having that inner fortuitiveness to persevere and go, well, I know what I want, so this ain't going to stop me. So
yeah. We talk about adapt and overcome a lot on this show, so we feel you on that one. So I'm excited for the throwdown. We'll bring you back here shortly. We're going to get to, we're just going to get to our Soprano, and then we'll come back for the cooking.
Oh my God, the Soprano.
No big deal, Awesome. Somebody's like, you're doing a cooking challenge, interviewing a Soprano. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing today. They're like,
well-rounded.
Tuesday. It's a well-rounded episode. I mean, that's what we're doing. I mean, and that's what we're doing. We're excited. So we'll come back to you. Don't go anywhere. Don't disappear. We need you here. But producer Chris has you. So I'll see you soon. So this isn't goodbye. So you don't get but it was a good first interview. But we'll be back for the challenge here in about 20 minutes. So thank you so much. We'll see you in a few short minutes. All right, here we go. It's really warm today. The temperature's changing. I'm like sitting over sweating under bullets, and I'm not even on a set. This is amazing. Anyways, I'm excited for our next guest. As you all know, I am a huge fan of good TV and The Sopranos. I've been watching that since it started. I've never missed an episode. I've binge watched it multiple times. So whenever my executive producer says, hey, want to interview a Soprano? Well, the answer is always yes. And it helps that this is one of my favorite characters. I loved his storyline that they had in The Sopranos. So he's been in a lot of different movies. Amazing that he's been in a ton of movies. When you look him up at IMDb, you're like, damn, he's in a lot of movies. You see him everywhere. He's one of everybody's favorite. Either you loved him or you hated him on The Sopranos. It depends on where you sit in the Soprano world. But I'm excited to bring on our next guest, Vincent Pastore. Wow, I can. Vincent.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you and I can hear you, my friend. How are you?
Let me get a good position over here. I don't know why it's so bright, man.
We can see you.
Yeah, I know why it's bright, because I should have did this before. I got the curtains open. I live on an island.
Sweet. Which one?
It's called the Bronx.
Yes. The beautiful Bronx.
I live on, okay, I can do it this way. Let me see. There we go. Perfect. I live on City Island. It's outside the Bronx.
Nice.
Andy Garcia made a movie about it called City Island.
Yeah, you have quite the amazing role of many roles that you've done in movies, and I've seen quite a few of your flicks. But of course, everybody knows you from, of course, The Sopranos.
Yeah.
You're kind of well known from The Sopranos. So I have to tell you, a huge fan of the show and of your character. And it's my show, so we can say your name. Everybody knows you as Big Pussy from the show, or however you go in the show. And I had the honor to meet James Gandolfini years ago when I was in the military, when you guys were still, I think it was like the first seasons. And he was, of course, a big advocate for the troops. And my first question for you was, what was it like working with James? Obviously, you got.
I was in the service also.
What branch were you in, my friend?
I was in the Navy.
We're related then.
During Vietnam.
Yes, I love it. We have a veteran on our show. Look at that. I did it again. I bumped my head.
I served from 1964 to 1967.
I did not know that. That is outstanding. Thank you for your service, my friend.
Yeah. So what was your question?
I said, what was it like working with James?
Oh, it was great working with James. I had known James, before we started the Sopranos, and it was all like new for us because first we did a pilot, and then we got picked up, and then we knocked off all the episodes before they even aired. So we didn't even know what the reaction was going to be from anybody. And then, then everybody started paying for cable, unless you knew somebody.
Yeah. That's crazy. I never knew you guys filmed everything, and then you kind of it became a viral hit.
We did the pilot. Then we got a call that the show got picked up, and then we knocked off 12 more episodes, and the pilot has been always considered episode 1 with the Ducks.
The Ducks, yes. We restarted our. I'll go to 2 screens so we can see each other. We've been binge watching a lot of TV over the last 8 weeks. So we restarted it because my daughter, she's like, okay, I hear you and everybody in the family talk about The Sopranos. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So we started season 1 just the other day. And I was laughing because if you go back, of course, watching as many episodes as I've watched, it's like, you could see how people fell in love with this. It was like getting all of these other movies that we grew up watching, Goodfellas, taking the mob and putting a different tie on it. And I think each one of you in the cast had a unique role, and you guys really pushed a lot of edges. Even in season 1, I mean, you guys touched a little bit of everything, talking about people with dementia and cancer, and Christopher, if you want to say that he was bipolar, which kind of Christopher for the rest of the show, the series, you could kind of say Christopher's kind of characters everywhere and kind of leads to a lot of like Tony's decision-making process throughout the show. And, and you guys crossed the bridge with the coach molesting a player, which was actually handled. I think you're all.
I'm sorry, I missed that episode. I didn't see nobody getting molested.
Well, they weren't molested. It was just inferred. And nobody died in that episode either, which I was shocked. Okay. We were all hoping for people to die in that one. And then it comes to your character a few seasons later. And I don't know are we allowed to play spoiler alert on my own show? Since
the show's been out there for 20 years, I think people know.
Yeah, I think they better know.
Big Pussy gets whacked eventually.
Yeah, he does. So what was it like when you read that in the script did you know beforehand that eventually your character would snitch and be whacked, or was that kind of last second?
After we finished airing season 1, David Chase called me and said, I'm developing season 2 because it wasn't written yet.
Oh, wow.
And he said, a lot of work for you, Vinny, but they're going to find out you're a rat. So I didn't know, every time we would go to rehearsal and get a script, I didn't know if I was getting whacked in that episode or whatever until you read the script.
That's cool. I mean, and that's what Joe told us when he was on. He had no idea when he was going to get clipped either. It was
Joey's my boy. I have fun with Joey.
Oh,
we did some food show. I can't even remember the guy's name. We had a blast, Joey. Joey likes to drink. He likes to drink, Joey.
Nothing wrong with that. Good bourbon is good. Or are we talking wine? What are we talking? Bourbon.
He likes to drink when he's working. So I mean, sometimes you got to lift him up in his chair. I have my own vices,
So let's talk about. So I've heard this rumor. You have a sauce out, an amazing sauce line. I've got some family in New York, and there we go. Yes, my little brother told me about that. He lives in Soho, and took a picture.
You can't see it.
There we go, right there. Hey,
Vincent Pastore's Italian marinara sauce available in Merrick, Long Island at A&S stores, available in some stores in Brooklyn and available on City Island. It's everybody likes it, and everybody's staying home cooking now. We're gonna go. So people are starting to use the sauce in different recipes, and it's a lot of fun. And it keeps me busy. I'm kind of I have to say to everybody out there that's watching the show, I've been through a lot of things in my life, but this has been the hardest thing I've ever been through. Not being able to invite friends over your house, not being able to go to a movie, Broadway shut down. My very, very close friend, Nick Cadero, I did Bullets Over Broadway with Nicky. He lost his leg. He's in bad shape. It's just who knew, that something like this was it makes you appreciate your life a little better.
Amen.
So, yeah. It makes you appreciate every day, your friends, your family. And, I got a podcast that I was supposed to start in March in New York City, and then we postponed it. And as soon as the city's open, I'll do my podcast. I didn't want to do it from my home because I wanted to I used to have a radio show on Sirius called The Wise Guys Show, and I wanted to create that vibe again where everybody's in the studio and everybody's breaking each other's chops and stuff. So we'll be doing that hopefully mid-June. And I got a movie coming out with Val Kilmer called Birthday Cake. Lorraine Bracco's in it as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good. And me and my cousin Gary Pastore were developing a project called The Lunatics, and we're working on that. So, we keep busy. But I got my band, the Gangster Squad. We can't play anywhere. How you gonna put a band in a bar if you're practicing social distancing? I just don't know how they're gonna come up with the new way of doing things. I'm involved with Screen Actors Guild, and they're trying to come up with ways that we all could get back to work, and it's going to be safe for us.
That's crazy. The fall season hasn't been filmed yet. A lot of the fall season for TV hasn't been filmed.
No, they have a lot of stuff that they held back, and they say they may not have a fall season in September. They may wait till January, and up until January, just keep doing reruns. And I know they're doing movie of the week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm digging is I'm watching a lot of because we're home a lot, so you could binge watch on demand. I'm watching my favorite new show is Hightown. It's all about Provincetown, and I've been watching that, and I've been catching up on a lot of shows that I didn't have the time to see, and I'm also catching up on a lot of movies and stuff, and that's it. What are you gonna do?
Awesome. I love that. So let me ask you before you go, what would you rate as the top?
Rush, I know you got Mr. Clemenza coming on. I'm good friends with his father,
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring him on before you.
Want to hear Clemenza's story with me?
Oh sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm doing Bronx Tale, and I'm. You got to really look hard for me. It's the scene when Lilo and Chaz says, "Is it better to be loved or feared?" And I'm the bartender. And Clemenza had a big part of that whole production because he was Bobby's right-hand man. So I was leaving after I did my scene, and Bobby was directing. I say, Bobby, Mr. De Niro. And he says, no, you're going to stand in for Clem for the rest of the day. And I stood in for Clem, and I got a decent paycheck. But that's the first time I met Lilo, and the first time I met Louis Veneria, and the first time I met Clem. And it's a memory. It's a great memory because the movie became a classic. And then talking about my boy Nick Cadero, he wound up doing the play on Broadway. He played Sonny in the play. So that's like, 6 degrees of Vinny Pastore, right?
Look at you.
Yeah.
So what would you rate the top 5? Somebody asked me this question. I put it out on Facebook. I was interviewing you, and I said, what do you want to ask? And, everybody always, so the number 1 question was, what are your top 5 mafia movies, mob movies? That was the number 1.
My top 5 mafia movies?
Yes.
Oh, you probably never even seen them.
I'd love to hear them. I love a good mob movie.
All right. Roaring 20s with Jimmy Cagney.
Ooh, good one.
They made, you're saying mafia movies. Why is it going to be a mafia?
Because that's what they asked. I said, if they could ask you any question, that's what they came back with. I came up with the Gandolfini one because I'm a huge fan of what he's done for veterans when it came to PTSD as somebody who stepped out in front.
There's so many great movies that involve the mob, but it's not necessarily the mafia. Like American Me with Edward James Olmos is a classic movie. Then you're talking about Johnny Depp when he played Black Mass, when he played Whitey. There's so many great movies out there. But listen, Marlon Brando, Godfather 1 with Al Pacino and Jimmy Caan and my girlfriend, Talia Shire, because she's my girlfriend. I love her. I love her very much. That's it. And once you did a Godfather 1, the rest was history.
Yeah, sure.
And then you got Goodfellas.
That's like given, right? You put that one in.
Then you got Scarface. Come on. It's not mafia, but it's a mob movie.
It is.
Right.
So
let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Who starred in the original Scarface back in the early 30s?
Ooh, shit. I was going to say, I know.
If you win, I'll mail you a headshot signed.
Who was it Cagney, was it?
No, it was Paul Mooney.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that. Sorry.
See? Hey.
No headshot for me.
You ain't getting squat.
I ain't getting shit.
Okay, what movie did James Gandolfini play opposite Robert Redford while he was doing Sopranos? He took a break and he shot this movie. Give me the answer.
That was that prison movie. I can't think of it. Redford's in it.
Come on, you want a picture? I'll mail it to you.
Last Castle.
You got it. Okay, I'll give you one more. What movie did Jimmy star in, directed by Tony Scott, where he beat the hell out of Patricia Arquette?
That was Get Shorty.
Nope.
Oh, it was.
Starts with a True Romance.
True Romance. That's right. That's his first movie.
Dennis Hopper.
That was his first movie.
Whose first movie?
That was James' first movie, wasn't it?
No, Jimmy Goes Back. Jimmy Goes Back.
True Romance. That's right.
He did a movie called Angie with Matt Dillon and Annabella Sciorra. Jimmy Goes Back.
He's
acted
forever.
You ever see that movie that he did with Nicolas Cage?
Oh yeah. Did he have the goatee? What movie? He had like a goatee.
I think that was it, where he played like a porn. He made porn movies and stuff. Jimmy was the best. We miss him so much.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. You know?
I think both sides of the house feel that way with you, as you guys who worked with him and those of us who enjoyed watching him on the screen. He was really missed, and the amazing things he did, a lot of people don't know, and I know a lot of us, especially.
Well, come on, you know how much he would go over. He went over twice with Tony Sirico to Iraq, and then he did a documentary at HBO for the vets, for wounded warriors. Jimmy had a big heart, man, big heart. We miss him. Yeah, you miss him a lot, you know. This is fun. This is really fun. So listen, what time we got here? I know Clemenza wants to
We're going to bring Clemenza on right now.
He wants to cook.
There we go.
There he is.
Hey.
There he is.
How you
Where
doing?
are you, in your house on Staten Island?
Yeah, I'm in Staten Island.
I did the Wu-Tang out there.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, we shot it down there underneath the Bayonne Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a whole season of Wu-Tang, and we're supposed to go back when things clear up.
Yeah, they were actually filming in Staten Island. They filmed in a couple of apartment buildings right by me, and they were all over. And I think that's great that they came back to Staten Island to film a lot of things. I really, honestly,
good guys, Brizza, Method
absolutely.
Man. They're all good people. And I'm really glad I'm on the show. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a quick question about your sauce. You mentioned Merrick, Long Island. I worked out in Merrick for years. I worked at a company called Severoli. Now we dealt with.
There's a deli on Merrick Road called A&S.
Okay.
And they came up with the sauce, and it's good. It's doing well.
Where can we buy? Can I buy it anywhere in Staten Island or anything?
Why do you have to pay for it?
I didn't say I was going to pay for it. But because I got a guy that represents like Paisana and a bunch of other things that's got a great connection with like Restaurant Depot that's always looking for things like this.
Well, I don't want to give all the guys' information out now. I mean, we can do that another time. But no, you know what you got to do. These guys got my email. Get my email. Email me, and I'll give you all the information. You know. Yep. You know what I mean?
Steve Stripper had a sauce too. We had him on our podcast.
Joe got a Scully's got a sauce. Sharippa's got a sauce. Everybody's got a sauce.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm the only guy without a sauce.
How come Ducky's got a sauce? How come you don't have a sauce?
That's I got a meatball sundae, which is just as good. That's my signature trademark.
What's a meatball sundae?
Oh, forget about it. So I take a meatball, I put a scoop of ricotta on top to look like ice cream. Yeah. A cherry tomato on top of that to look like the cherry. Balsamic glaze to look like chocolate syrup, but it looks just like a little. And I put it in a little ice cream cup. It looks just like an ice cream sundae.
Wow. I do it on my food that sounds good. What do you call it?
A meatball sundae.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys.
It sells, man. It sells big, actually.
Right. Okay. All right. So when did you talk to Daddy or what?
Yeah, he's in Florida. I spoke to him a little bit. He's you don't want to talk to him about. He's on the beach. You know what his deal. He's on the beach.
You're not fighting with your father, are you?
Yeah, a little bit again. You know.
Well, you tell him Vinny said hi. All right.
I will. Okay. I mean, I love him. I love him to death, but he's.
Right. So now I'm gonna stay on. I want to watch you do your thing. But I'm going to come off and mute myself so I can watch, Eric, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Vincent, for coming on. We appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Now, for the final segment, this is round one of the Triple Deuce Chef Challenge. Let's bring Vinny back in. Not Vinny. Let's bring Chef Clemenza back in. Whoop. Like magic. That didn't work like I wanted it to. There we go. Chef.
Yep.
So we're going to get you started. And then I guess let's bring Stephanie in. Watch magic go. It's like magic. Look at this, how it works. Okay. It's round one. So who wants to go first and cooking what? Chef Clemenza, you run this. This is your thing. I'm just here just to watch.
I'll go first because I got my garlic going already. And I'll break down the challenge real quick so everybody knows what the Triple Deuce Chef Challenge is.
I can't hear Clemenza.
And very quickly, basically, I came up with this because during this whole pandemic, there was no meat. Everybody was grabbing canned goods. People are broke. And unless you're in that position, you don't know what that really is like. So when you're out of work and haven't worked for 2 months and you got no money and, your unemployment hasn't come, your stimulus check hasn't come, and you're sitting on 40 cans.
I can't hear
Clemenza. Boxes and emails, Chef, what can I do with this? How can I create some meals? And everything is up. So anyway, here it is. So the Triple Deuce Chef Challenge. Take any 2 canned goods, any 2 fresh fruits or vegetables, and challenge 2 people. And you can use your entire pantry, your milk, your eggs, your pasta, your rice, your spices, cheese, chicken stock, all that stuff. Just not using any meat. So like I said, man, unless you're really in that position, I know me too. And, my food truck hasn't been out all season. There's money going out, not money coming in. And especially when you got families of 5 and stuff, it's hard to get by when you got to feed 5 people. So we're going to start this. I'm going to start off. I'm doing an actual stuffed pepper. Now, if I can figure out how to flip the camera around,
we've done this before.
Yeah, I know. I figured there was a way to do it. I mean, I don't know how. Does anybody know how to flip this camera around? It says audio, video, cam, mic, chat. I don't get it.
I just turned mine sideways. Oh, there we go. Oh,
no, I got it. But I got to flip it around. I know there was a way to do it the last time. I honestly don't know. But tell me if you can see. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
All right, so we're starting out with a little garlic, right? So basically, going to come back for a minute. Basically, when you do stuffed peppers, the traditional way is ground beef, rice. But I found, believe it or not, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, and I never ate this before in my life, and it's not something I would never normally buy. But I found this canned pork. And I know, it's like Spam kind of like, but not really. It's actually like pulled pork in like solidified and like fat and juice. And I got to tell you the truth, it's actually really good, man. It really is. I know it's hard to believe. But anyway, all right, so I got the garlic going.
I'm still getting over you eating canned chicken last week, okay? So.
I know they say it gets better, right? Now check this out. Over here, we got some beautiful pulled pork. And this is the canned stuff. I mean, look at that. It's not terrible, man. It's actually a good product. And I got some rice cooked. So this is kind of hard to do with one hand in a backwards camera, but I become the master of one-handed video. So basically all I did was cook off some rice, steam some rice. I'm going to add some pulled pork into that, right? Again, this is out of the can, guys. It's hard to really believe. And look, again, when you got to feed 5 people and there's no money and you're in a nationwide, worldwide pandemic, you got to make the best of what you got and try to create something delicious out of nothing. And that's what a real chef or a real good home cook can do. So we're going to take these yellow tomatoes, mix everything together, right? This will actually be the stuffing for the pepper. Again, I wish I knew how to flip the camera around. I don't know why I can't do it on this device, but very simple. Mix that together. Add a little bit of grated cheese to this, right? And very simple, stuff it inside the pepper. And by the magic of television, you now have some stuffed peppers that actually turn from yellow to red. I only had 1 can of yellow. So I did the peppers ahead of time. But take a look at that. That's actually made from 2 canned goods, man. It's made from a simple can of tomatoes, a can of pork, some steamed rice, a little grated cheese, and a pepper. And take a look at that. Just look at the inside.
That looks good. Ooh, look at that.
Thing, man. Now, for the final, I got to tell you, for a canned good, that's a great.
Awesome. Okay.
You can feed about 6 people with this, with the cost of about $7. So
That's not bad at all.
You have a meal for 6. You can feed your family. I mean, a nice, generous sized portion to a big. You see the size of this thing. Look, it's like a Brontosaurus pepper. I mean, you eat one of those for dinner with that meat in there, and you're good. You know, it's to help people out. People are brave and like I said, there's no money coming in. Nobody's, half the world isn't working right now. So if you can show people and create.
Looks delicious, Clemenza. I can hear you, but.
So what we're going to do now, so Stephanie's ready to go. So we're going to toss over to her and come back. So we see your amazing dish. I wish I could eat off my computer. We need to get that technology that food could just. So, Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good. Okay. Well, so what are you taking in the challenge?
I'm going to be doing a black bean and tuna fish surprise. So what we're going to start out doing here is we're going to take a can of tuna. All right, we're going to add this to the bowl. A nice big old can of tuna, or should I say regular size.
There you go.
We're just going to kind of crush that up a little bit. I don't know if you can see me.
Yep.
Just get that mashed up pretty good. And then I'm going to add a can of black beans. Triple deuce chef challenge. Just mix that up a little bit. Get that going. Get some black beans and some tuna. I'm sure people, have had black beans and tuna before. Have you? Have you, Eric?
I have. I was raised in the South for some time. My grandparents lived in Beaufort, South Carolina. So
I know exactly where Beaufort, South Carolina is.
I just like saying Beaufort with my non-Southern accent. That's my best. Some people find it disrespectful that when I start talking to people from the South, I develop that Southern accent. It's just like going to New York and getting a New York accent all of a sudden. And the only thing I always make fun of is they say my name wrong. My name starts with an E, not an A. So,
listen, I was in Virginia for a while. I definitely couldn't pull up the Southern accent.
No.
So now I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to my little concoction here. Maybe like, just like a few tablespoons to a quarter of a cup. Might be adding a little bit more here in a second. I'm just gonna mix that up real good. And then I'm gonna add some cracked Himalayan pink sea salt and some cracked black pepper. Get this all spiced up. My black pepper's flying everywhere. So then to that, I'm going to add the juice of a whole fresh lemon. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, yeah, my peppers and onions are in the fridge. Hold on a second. Let me grab my peppers and onions.
That's what happens when you're actually really cooking, man.
They're already diced up. So I got them. Perfect. So what I use is I've got diced red pepper and red onion. So I'm going to add that to my mix here. Oh, my God, that smells so amazing. Yum. Yum, frickin' yum. Look how pretty. Look how gorgeous.
Yeah.
You need a piece of Italian bread for that.
All right. And then to that, I'm going to add, I zested the lime before I juiced it. So we're going to add the zest of an entire lime. And I like to also, whatever fruit I'm using, whether it's lime, lemon, orange, grapefruit, I like to zest it because it gives it that much more of a punch of flavor. All right, so we're going to mix that up. Yum, freaking yum. Wow, this is looking amazing. Smelling amazing already. Even tuna can smell amazing. All right, then I'm going to add some garlic powder and some cumin. Now, everybody knows how much I like cumin, and you see how that just kind of poured out? You really can't use too much cumin. It's amazing. So we're going to add that, and then I'm going to add some onion powder.
Nice.
Yum, yum, yum. And then I'm going to add a little bit more sea salt and pepper. Now, again, I can only use 2 fresh ingredients, which are my onions and peppers. But I would add cilantro, too. I'd chop up some cilantro if you have some.
Really?
But again, just for the challenge today, I'm going to add the peppers and the onions and the black beans and the tuna. All right, mix that up real good. Let's do a little bit more sea salt. Himalayan pink's got all those minerals. Again, all about healthy, all about nutrition. More black pepper. Mix it up a little bit. And then I got these blue chips with sea salt. Upper-rick amazing. Take a blue chip and we'll top it with some of my tuna mixture.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Oh, yeah.
That is deep frickin' Yo.
She's like the Southern version of me that doesn't curse.
That's true. That looks amazing. So what we're asking everybody who's watching, and I've been sharing this on Instagram and tagging you both, for folks to vote on which dish they prefer. Did Chef Stephanie beat Chef Clemenza at his own challenge? So we'll tally them up, and we'll let folks know on Friday who the winner was for this round. It's kind of like Bobby Flay. You gotta beat Bobby Flay. You gotta beat.
Yes, that's definitely win because I always lose on my own challenges.
You always lose on your own.
That's the concept of our show, Big Mouth and the Healthy South, where he's going to take a dish and I'm going to make the same thing, but healthier and lighter.
Wait a minute. I thought I was the healthy stuff.
You make the healthy stuff. Yeah. Go back and tell us about the meatball sundae one more time so you can tell us about a healthy meatball sandwich. We need to hear more.
I would totally try.
It's like, you ever seen the movie Idolize This? He goes, what kind of sandwich is it? I have a sandwich.
Yeah.
Only have half a meatball sundae. You don't got to eat the whole thing.
Oh, I'm coming out to New York to taste that. I want one.
Dude, I'm serious. I really want to get some dry ice, and I can send you a meatball sundae kit. I was doing these kits the other day where I put the meatballs together in a little container, a little ricotta, a little balsamic vinegar, and I built this little kit. I'm going to definitely send you one. Matter of fact, that will be my goal by the end of next week, is to send you out a meatball sundae kit. I tell you what, if I send it to you, you got to make it live on your show.
Of course.
We'll make one together.
Of course. You'll have to walk me through it, but we'll set that all up. So we have one vote for stuffed peppers so far. One vote.
All right.
Jalapeno poppers.
Yes, that's going to be Steph and I's next Big Mouth and the Healthy South version of I mean, how do you make a healthy jalapeno popper? You gotta have bacon.
Yeah, how do you do that? I'll tune in to watch that. If you need a celebrity host, I'll show up just to host that for you. I love it. But next week, Chef, you have we have somebody who wants to go up against you.
I heard Chris might want to do that.
Yeah, producer Chris wants to step into the ring.
All right, so I gotta get my camera situated here because I still don't know how to turn. Here's the thing: I have a phone from like 1980 that works better than the new Galaxy Note. I mean, you saw me the other week. I was flipping it around. It was easy. I can't do anything with this phone. I'm filming one-handed and backwards.
Oh, we got 2 votes for stuffed peppers. Two. Wow.
I would vote for Stephanie.
Wait a minute. No. We got a tuna vote.
Yep, there it is.
Boom. There we go. I like it.
Hey, I'm supposed to tag 2 people that should join the challenge.
Oh, yeah. Well, who you want to call out?
I'm going to call out my girl Elizabeth Colvin and my girl Lindsay Budd, both as well IIN health coaches and phenomenal friends. And they're absolutely outstanding at cooking.
You want to bring them on here on a Tuesday and do the challenge for the world to watch?
Oh, they won't be scared.
Let's do it. And Clem, you could come on and be the judge with me.
Oh, yeah, that sounds perfect.
You and I can judge.
Absolutely.
Now, when we do this show in person, we'll be under a certain way to be able to handle. Oh, Chef's gone. I don't know what happened. He just poof. Oh, he's coming back.
I'm back.
Good. I was like, "Where'd you go?" I said we'll judge in a different way when we do the show live and in person.
Oh, absolutely. You know why I just swiped off? Because I was wiping the grease off my finger to eat the stuffed pepper off camera.
Clemenza, I can finally hear you. I haven't been able to hear you the whole time.
Yeah, she couldn't hear you the whole time.
Really?
Now I can hear you.
I was moderating.
All right.
Oh, I love it.
I definitely heard you the whole time.
Of course, I got a big mouth.
Don't you both? I mean, I was going to say.
I told you she's the big mouth, and I'm really the healthy South.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to stop using the word healthy. You can no longer say healthy when your specialty is a meatball sundae. You can't even say healthy. It doesn't even
roll off my tongue the right way. Healthy. It doesn't even sound healthy.
You almost cringe when you say it. I just want to let you know. You're almost like.
Believe it or not, though, I do eat healthy. I eat a lot of salads and steamed vegetables and. Who am I kidding?
But that sounds boring, Clemenza. That sounds boring. You need to do my recipes because they're delicious.
I'm gonna make you my Italian tuna, which is olive oil, lemon juice, black pepper, capers, black olives. I did a video of it not too long ago.
Oh, sounds amazing.
You slap that on some Italian bread. Woo-wee!
That sounds good. You need to do a live on that one. I'll show the hell out of that.
Yeah.
So we've got so Clemenza's banging tuna. That's what we're calling that. Okay. My team's naming
banging tuna.
That's Chef Chris. See, he's just getting ready to throw this down next.
So many levels.
Next Tuesday, we're gonna go. It's Chris. He's the one in there naming things now. He's naming your banging tuna.
I gotta send you my balls next week. Now you got me banging tuna.
We'll be here all week. All of a sudden, no.
See, I love it because you can't get me started, man. I was good up until you got me started.
That's okay. You're allowed to. Oh, I love this challenge. You both are winners in my heart. That doesn't count because I'm the host of the damn show.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So it looks delicious, both of them. I have my vote, and I'm giving my vote to Steph just because I'm a big tuna fish fan. It looks amazing.
You know what? I ain't talking to you. Matter of fact, I ain't even coming back on next week.
Okay.
I tell you
Stephanie,
what.
You want to be our new chef on Tuesday? Stephanie's gonna be our Tuesday.
Wow, you get rid of me that easy, huh?
No, we're not gonna get rid of you. You're coming back on. You don't get to bust my balls. No. There's no busting my balls.
I tell you the truth. I might vote for the tuna too. That tuna looked actually really good, man, and I love tuna.
Yeah. I'm scared of yours with anything out of a can. Pork out of a can scares me. I'm just saying. Like,
I gotta tell you the truth. It's scared to have a living day like too. But it was actually really good.
I don't know. It's like when I see people eat salmon out of a can.
I made salmon last week and it was absolutely terribly delicious. If that makes any type of sense, it was terribly delicious. It tastes, salmon out of a can tastes just like tuna.
Okay, well, that's the end of our first round of the Triple Deuce Challenge. We're going to give our votes away to everybody. We're going to put it up on Instagram. We're going to put a poll up. You get to pick who won this first round. And then next week, we'll have more folks. We're just going to turn Tuesdays into this gigantic Food Network, our version.
I'm going to be like
Network.
0 for 6 by the end of the month.
That's
Well,
okay.
Well,
you have all of June to repent because next week starts June. So, you can still pull it off. So far, you got the winnings. Oh, another one. Somebody, Chef Stephanie got another vote. So now you guys, you're tied up, deuces. So, I mean,
Holy cow.
look at that.
hey, how do I vote for myself?
I don't think there's a button for that.
How do I vote
We
for
are
myself?
not allowing the chefs to vote for themselves. That's
Why not? I got to win somehow.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Even if you're president,
it's your
you're supposed to
challenge.
vote
You
for
win, no
yourself.
matter what. Anyways, guys, I love having you both on today. I appreciate you both. Those meals look amazing. We're going to have you both back. Stephanie, we'll connect to get your two challengers on. Clemenza, do you have anybody else you need to challenge?
I'm going to challenge my buddy Chef Lou. He's been hiding in the background. They do a lot of stuff with him. He's been hiding out. I even brought him a couple of canned goods. We got to get him out. We got to challenge this guy.
Let's go. There we go. So thank you both for coming on. We'll see you guys next week. I'll be in touch with both of you throughout the week. So thank you very much. Your dishes look amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, first round of the Triple Deuce Chef Challenge is done. Go vote on Instagram in 1 hour. Voting will be live till Friday. Pick your winner between the dishes. We'll share both of them online shortly.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you guys
Ciao.
soon. That's our show. That's it. That's Tuesday. It's May 26th. We're done. Tomorrow's show, as always, we got my co-host Jordan Gelber back. I'm excited for a good entertainment show. And as always, that means if we have Jordan, that means we have the main man from Vet Pivot. If you're not pushing smash and subscribe on his podcast, you're wrong. Go do it now. I'll wait. Just kidding. We don't have time for you to do that. Just go do it sometime today. Before tomorrow, go subscribe to his amazing podcast. We got the one and only Matt Kuchera will be here. We're going to talk about getting a job. There's about 40 million of you that need to do it. Matt's going to help you, point you in the right direction. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. He might have a surprise guest with him. We don't know yet. We played this by the strings. We kind of go. We have a great show for you on Wednesday. You're going to want to be here. We have a good Instagram influencer who has created – he's a vet, and he's created these amazing Instagram accounts that mock people named Karen and the male version of Karen. It's great. He's got over 1 million subscribers. His videos get crazy views. They are hilarious. We're going to have him on the show. We're going to have a few other amazing veterans on the show. And Friday, we have James Rosenbush, who served 2 terms with the Reagan administration. He was chief of staff to Nancy. And we have Joy Villa, who, if you watch anything dealing with the Trump campaign, you've seen Joy on your TV. Miss Joy Villa is a Grammy nominee and an amazing, amazing human being. She'll be joining us Friday. So tune in tomorrow. As I always say, smash that subscribe button, tell a friend, and we thank you for tuning in today on behalf of our entire team here. Butch, producer Chris, and Madison, we thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to our chefs and our amazing soprano actor, Vincent, for joining us today. And remember, I'm Eric Mitchell. Be safe, be smart, be strong, and God bless America.